everybody. Episode 3, Revolution Healthy. Fatty Coffee Talk. So we had some water. We're going to show you how you make fatty coffee. And we're going to do some talking. Start heating up the water. We use a French press here in Lugoland. I guess apparently it's healthier and better for the coffee because there's nowhere for bacteria to exist. We also do composting. My wife has me very, hold on. My wife has me very ecologically savvy. She's really into all this and composting and recycling, and I'm not against the environment, but I was never that person that was like totally thought about it. So in that way, I guess you could say my wife has helped to make me a better person. I did cleans this morning. I'm learning how to do cleans, you know, dip drive cleans. So I'm going to just let you all know that I've been very depressed the last month or so. I've been going through a lot of heaviness with my mom being here, and my mom and her stuff and family stuff, and my kids being off school for 2 weeks, and you know, not being able to work that much. I don't know, just, and also my own stuff. And it kind of all came to a head last night, and I was so down last night. I don't know, I was wrecked, to be totally honest with you. And I started praying, and I was praying for help and, you know, guidance, and I don't know, I had this moment of clarity for myself, you know, and you know, it's just, I don't know, it's nothing that anybody could have helped me with. It's not somebody could have said, oh, do this and you get this, or, you know, some meme on Facebook. It was a really internal thing that I just kind of had to go through, and I just let go of a lot of resentment and anger and hurt that I've had bundled up inside of me for a long time. A lot of it's old hurts. You know, a lot of family stuff, you know, kind of dealing with my mom and kind of getting reintegrated a little bit into my family has been weird. You know, I left home 30 years ago, so I've been pretty much on my own forever. So it's been weird. But you know what? I'm forgiving myself for the things that I've done, for the part that I've played in a lot of it, and forgiving what I perceived how people hurt me, and that's it. And because I can't function at the level I need to function to be a champion in my life if I'm dragging around a bunch of old baggage. It's just not happening. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. And I often think, am I the only person that's like going, like, does anybody else like worry, you know, is anybody else hurt by this situation, or mad at me for this, or mad at themselves for that, or they're mulling all this over? It's like, am I the only person mulling this over and everybody else is asleep and they're fine? So I'm like, you know what? Come on, man. You got bigger fish to fry than to worry about a bunch of old crap. So, and what came about was last night, in the midst of my excruciating hurt, the thought of binge eating came up. And, you know, because, you know, binge eating is, you know, binge eating is not a problem. Binge eating is a solution. So, you need to find new solutions, because that's not a great solution, you know, if you want to, like, be happy and healthy and look cool and have clothes and, you know, do your thing, man. Like, you know, binge eating is the, for me, is the way down the drain. So anyway, so, okay, so I fill this up. I have my line. This is a French press. We use this New Mexico Pinion coffee. This is great stuff from Trader Joe's. I love the way this tastes. I'm not really like a per se coffee person. Like, I don't care for Starbucks coffee. It's too aggressive tasting for my palate. This I like. It almost has a little bit of a cocoa-y thing to it, my wife says. I don't know. But now what we're gonna do, so I put 3 scoops in here, put it to the line, stir it up, put the lid on it, but with the plunger up, and set the alarm for 4 minutes. And then I have the NutriBullet, and we are going to make fatty coffee, and this is what I use to prolong my fast. I've been fasting, I don't know how long, but I haven't eaten since yesterday. It's 10:15 a.m. on Tuesday. So what I do is I have lines here set up. I do 164 calories of a blend of, we'll just kill it, half and half, and organic full heavy whipping cream. This is not bulletproof coffee. I did bulletproof coffee for a while there, for maybe, I don't know, four months or so, and I did a lot of research on the science of bulletproof coffee. You know, that's the Kerrygold butter with the MCT oil, which is like hyper concentrated coconut oil, it just wasn't for me. This to me is better. If you want, you can research it. John Kiefer is a physicist that's into all this stuff, and you know, he says that the fat globules are actually superior in heavy whipping cream than in butter, because the churning of the butter damages them. And also there's, I don't know if it's called C8, the number is 8, but there's a compound or a chemical or a nutrient in MCT oil that when you concentrate this oil from the coconut, it leaves a lot of this stuff. It's out of balance with your body. It's too strong, basically. And this compound in the MCT oil, if not burned off, becomes toxic in the body. So Kiefer said I would only ever suggest, like, super athlete type people to take MCT oil on days when they're lifting heavy. And he's saying, like, bodybuilders, MMA, CrossFit, people like that. But for normal people, stay off of it. It's too strong. And actually, the dude that created this whole bulletproof craze kind of got the idea for it through John Kiefer, but he didn't like get the whole story right, and he's marketed it. And now his stuff, which is called Brain Octane, is like a hyper-concentrated version of the hyper-concentrated MCT oil with even more of this 8, number C8 or whatever it's called. It's a nutrient in there. So I stay away from it, and that's it. So, and I still consider myself fasting with this. And you know, some people will say, well, technically you're not fasting because you ingested any calories. That's fine. It doesn't matter. For me, I still consider myself fasting because there's really no rise in insulin because there's nothing but fat in this, and the fat starts to produce ketones, and the caffeine blunts the appetite and raises the metabolism and starts with the heightened awareness. So it's really a good thing. I like it anyway. You can do whatever you want. Like the Hodge twins say, you can do whatever you want. I like it. It works. I lost 100 pounds doing it. It helps me to extend my fast longer too. So there you go. You know, being like public with this weight loss thing and the way I've done it, it forces you to become very kind of tough. You got to become a little thick-skinned and also like just say how it is, just what I think, and I don't, you know, almost like I don't care what everybody thinks, because the opinions, you know, I've found something to be very true for myself. There's things in this world that are like, what do they call them? There's a word for them. There's a word for it. They're just very heated subjects that people have their opinions, and everybody thinks that they're right and that's it. And it's religion, politics, and health and weight loss. And boy, you just hear the most craziest stuff. Amazes me when you see a personal trainer who's never been fat in their life and has little to no experience in really helping people recover from morbid obesity argue with somebody that's lost 100 pounds and been healed from diabetes and high blood pressure and, you know, everything. I mean, I was pre-diabetic, hypoglycemic, high blood pressure, sleep apnea, it's all gone. It's amazing that they can actually just really argue with you, because it's that important that they want to appear smart. And it's like, dude, it's like, I've done it. And that's not to take away what you've done, but to sit there and argue with me just makes you look like a moron. I shouldn't say that. Should I cut that out? Maybe I'll cut this whole section out. So anyway, this is James Lugo's Fatty Coffee, and it's really good. Oh right, I put it in the Magic Bullet, the Bullet NutriBullet, and I just hit it for about 3 or 4 seconds. I don't hit it that long, and that's it. 164 calories. I try to wait as late in the day as possible before I start this. Bo, stay here. Come here. I try to wait as long as. Oh, come here. Give me a big. I know. I love you too. Oh, spank your chunky belly. You want to be in the video? That's my buddy. We hung all day yesterday. But anyway, that's it. I learned how to do cleans today. I'm learning how to do cleans. I shot a little like 2-second clip video, which I'll put at the end of this, and I can see that I'm pulling it out too far. I've got to pull it up and in more, like that. I'll get it, and with a little bit of the what do they call it, dip drive at the end. I'll get it. I'll get better at it. I know what it should look like. It's just a matter of getting my body to do that. But yeah. So what are we? Day 5 of the 80-day transformation. And we're going to do good this week because we're going to New York. I'm going to New York City tomorrow morning. I'm going to be there till Saturday. We're going to do good this week. And when I get home on Saturday, we're going to go nuclear on this. It's going to be strict. Strict. Warrior diet, intermittent fasting. I track all of my food with MyFitnessPal. I try to fast 17 to 21 hours a day. Train in the morning on an empty stomach, and then try to prolong my fast after that. It raises testosterone. A lot of what we've been taught about this, oh, you've got this 1 hour window to eat like, 100 grams of protein or your muscles are going to fall off. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's been perpetuated by people like Joe Weider. Mike Rashid, who's buff, he's been doing 1 meal a day for like 8 months, and he's eating low calorie, and he's not really even lifting that heavy because he's going into being a boxer. He's still jacked. He's still hitting PRs. I watched his video yesterday. Very inspirational. I like that guy. He's very foul-mouthed and rough around the edges, so I can't watch him around my kids, but in private I like to watch Mike Rashid. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing way better. Last night was an all-time bottom for me as far as deep depression and anger and, yeah. So there you have it. So if you guys can, y'all like and subscribe this, and or like and subscribe this, and we'll keep this conversation going. Getting shredded, baby.